Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Tessler, and our daughter Maggie has Rett syndrome. Oh, this is hard. I would love to say that this is an honor to speak, but it's hard to say this is an honor when I'm talking about Rett. Mostly I feel overwhelmed, anxious, and hurt because Rett syndrome breaks my heart every day. Maggie was 3 years old when she was diagnosed. Her symptoms started closer to 2.5. When I brought them up to doctors, they just brushed me off until she stopped talking. Then that was the first big alarm. For 6 months, we were told everything would be okay, that she would be fine. She was progressing still, more or less typically, just a little bit late. She was very social and happy. She was my little buddy. With therapy, our lives would be fine. At least that's what we were told. Maggie's diagnosis of Rett was shocking. I remember that day vividly. AJ and I went to the doctor, and I remember thinking, oh my God, the doctor's sick. Why is she here? But she wasn't sick. She had us sit in her office, and she told us, your daughter has Rett syndrome. Don't Google it. She was just sick to her stomach that she had to tell us this. I looked to my husband, and he was pale, and he couldn't speak. He couldn't form a sentence, so I just started asking the doctor anything I could think of. Rett was not on the list of things that we thought could happen, so just question after question, and the doctor had no answers. So we left the doctor's office that day, and that was the beginning of our life with Rett. The receptionist, who normally would joke around with us, couldn't even look us in the eye. The pediatrician, who just told us our daughter had Rett syndrome, was crying, and the entire office was silent. It was eerie. So I'm here to tell you, living with Rett is unimaginably hard. The disease itself is relentless. We are in year 3 of diagnosis, so that means our daughter has had this 3 years. The first year that you're diagnosed, it's devastating. It's coming to terms with everything that could have been. The second year is really hard. It's exhausting. It's adapting. Year 3 for us, though, was the hardest year that we've endured. This year tested our marriage, our emotional states, our physical capabilities, everything. In 2016, Rett syndrome hit Maggie really hard. It was devastating, and without a cure, really inevitably could get worse. This past spring, she caught a cold, and then for the next 6 weeks, we endured symptom after symptom of Rett punishing our little girl. Within 6 weeks, Maggie lost the ability to balance. She lost her ability to walk. She lost her independence. What started out as breathing issues turned into hours of hyperventilating, which kept her from eating, which resulted in dangerous weight loss. To understand the pain and hardship, imagine your child screaming and crying for hours because they can't stop hyperventilating, enough to calm down to eat, enough to calm down to sleep, enough to calm down to walk. Imagine having to physically move your child's jaw in order for them to eat. The food that you've placed in their mouth just so they don't lose the skill of eating or just survive. And I only knew how to do that because Heidi had to do that with Hannah. Imagine having to choose between forcing your daughter to use her hands and forcing enough food in her, knowing full well not having her use her hands will most likely be the end of her hand function, which it was. You see, Rett is unforgiving. If you don't use a skill, you lose it. And as parents, sometimes we have to make really tough choices. Imagine saying goodnight every night for 6 weeks to your husband, knowing that he was going to sleep in bed with your daughter, just in case she couldn't breathe, or if she didn't wake up at least he was with her. You see, AJ and I had to speak the unspoken to each other. The fear that Maggie could die in her sleep was real. Her gasping for air was constant and scary. Her symptoms were spiraling out of control. Everything was getting worse. There was nothing the doctors could do. We took her to her pediatrician. We took up another pediatrician. We went to the hospitals. We talked to specialists all over the country. No one knew what to tell us to do. That is how baffling Rett syndrome is. There are times no one knows what to do, and you're on your own. So we were on our own. Because sometimes there's no treatments for these Rett symptoms. So, 2016 is the year that took away our daughter's ability to balance, to walk, to use her hands, to breathe normally, to sit upright, to control her arms, and ultimately, it's the year that took away her independence. What a monster of a year this has been. You know, and that was just a single year of Rett. There's families here that have done this for a long time. And also, guys, I'm talking about a 5-year-old that lost all those symptoms in 6 weeks. Our story is not unique. This is every Rett family story, or it will be. So for the past 8 months, Maggie has fought to regain her strength. Some days she can walk, other days she just collapses. Some days she can stand up, other days she just topples over. And there's rarely a day that she can breathe normally anymore. The only certainty we have is the uncertainty every day. I'd be lying if I told you that I'd grown stronger, because there is rarely a day that goes by that I don't cry for my daughter. What you don't see is the agonizing pain, the crying in the shower, the crying in the car, the pleading for mercy, offering my life for hers. But every day I wake up and my daughter shows me what strength really is. She fights to walk, she struggles to breathe. Her body fights against her every day. She pushes through, almost always with a smile. She's my hero. She is 6 years old now and has dealt with more than anyone I know. She is worth fighting for. You are here because you want to help us fight. If not for Maggie, fight for Gabby, whose anxiety is debilitating. Fight for Hannah, whose scoliosis has severely progressed this year. Fight for Sadie, who has not walked yet and has a mountain to climb ahead of her. It's our daughters that suffer, but it just as easily could have been any of yours. There's no hereditary gene that we've passed down. We didn't do anything to deserve this, and neither did they. But we are doing everything we possibly can to fix it. We are fighting a battle from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Maggie's whole life can't be this. People often ask me what they can do to help. And it's so simple. It's donate. Help us fight for all the girls with Rett syndrome. Their families beg for a cure every day. I guarantee it. And we can make that cure happen. Thank you.